Welcome back to my channel, guys. Back to the carnivore diet. Just want to give you an update. I haven't given you an update in quite a while. So here's one. After Labor Day weekend, I did do a little alcohol drinking this weekend, but stuck to the diet. I've stuck to it really good over the last 2.5 weeks. So 3 weeks or so. I'd have to look at the date exactly. But anyway, long story short, I've got several things I want to talk about. I've kind of got some screenshots of my actual weights and stuff that I have been keeping track in a log. So I'm glad to share that with you, but I just kind of want to talk to you a little bit about kind of what's been going on, what have I been doing, back to work. I took off a few days. I actually did pretty good on my diet after the few days, or being off a few days. Pretty happy with that. And actually the carb craving has subsided quite a bit again. It was hard when I went off of it, then kept back on it, and then I had a little cheap moment. I'll admit, my company had furnished pizza and cookies, chocolate chip cookies, my favorite. Anyway, I had a few of them. So getting past that, after that, I haven't cheated anymore. That was earlier in the month. So far, like I said, I'm about 2.5, 3 weeks in after that. Doing really good. I have, like I said, had some alcohol on my days off, but while I've been working, I have not. Let me rephrase that. When I've been off in Miami or when I have been off at home, I've had a little bit of alcohol. Not too bad. But anyway, long story short, still taking my element. Let me get that where you can see it. Taking my element here. And the element is helped out a lot with just keeping hydrated, keeping all the electrolytes out. And I have done some fasting. So, yeah, I forgot. I did mention that last time. I have done some fasting. And I've done 3 days, which is 3 days is typically the hardest one. I've done 4 days. I've done 2 days, and I've done a lot of intermittent fasting, which means pretty much OMAD, 1 meal a day is what I've been on most. But on occasion, I picked up a lot of cravings to eat, and it was talked about this and some of the other guys that I've mentioned and that had the carnivore diet, some of the experts, I should say, getting on it and being on it for a little while. Definitely, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment on how to eat, being full. And speaking of which, let's talk about that, because I went to get a steak the other day and I had a great steak. Good T-bone. T-bone was good, had a lot of fat on it. Full, no problem. Went to get a steak a few days after that, and I had a filet, because that's usually my cut of meat is a filet. Well, I had filet, and it basically did not satiate me. It filled me up for the moment, but 2 hours later, I was looking for something else. And that was tough. So that was a big learning moment about the type of eat and whether I'm eating fats or not to satiate me, to keep you full for a lot longer. So that was a pretty good lesson in just that difference in type of meat right there. You know, a filet is very slim as far as fat goes. All the fat's mostly cut off of it. Not very marbled. It's just a lot of meat. And when I eat my steaks, it's usually medium rare, especially on this diet, medium rare. Anything more than medium rare, and I think that it's just a waste for the flavor and the juiciness of the meat. But got to figure that out. I did have a couple hamburger patties a couple hours after that, probably about 3 or 4 hours. Good old McDonald's drive-through for the quarter pounder beef patties with cheese, just like a lot of the doctors talk about, for 100% FDA meat and a little bit of cheese as a condiment. You know, I do like cheese. Been eating a lot of eggs, omelets, scrambled eggs with cheese, bacon, some sausage. Try to cut back on the sausage so much because you never know what's in it. But bacon, stuff like that, I have definitely eaten more of. And then just meats, even like in the plane the other day, we got catered. Of course, we had some hot meals and some cold meals. The hot meals, I ate some beef, and it was some fatty beef, so it wasn't bad. But I also ate some meat off the sandwiches. I even ate some chicken. The chicken was definitely, I ate the chicken first, and you could tell it was not filling at all. And it just seemed like a waste eating it. But I did have some dressing that I dipped it in, which was basically an oil and vinegar dressing, which helped me a little bit there. But then later I ate that beef, and it was fatty, so it wasn't bad, and that filled me up for the rest of the flight for the 8-hour day I had. So wasn't too bad. Anyway, just trying to get used to being on this diet. It's been tough. I'm not going to lie to you. Just trying to figure out how to eat while on the go. Good old McDonald's has helped a lot, especially when I've been in base. Now, being on the road, when I've got limited supply of where I can walk to or get to, I have to get creative sometimes on that. And then sometimes it may be a fasting day, just because I don't want to eat something that's not really good for me. So that's kind of how I've taken it so far. But let's get on to the numbers here. Meanwhile, while I've got the update here, I want to give you some ideas on what my numbers have been looking like. So if you look at probably from my highest, from April 6th, I'll show you and I'll explain why I will go from April 6th at 296, April 28th at 296, then down to 281, 274, 272, 271. As you can see, I was losing weight, and there's a good reason for that. I had jaw surgery, so I went on a liquid diet. And what I did while I was on that liquid diet, I tried to drink just nothing but protein drinks, and that was tough. So rebounding from that, as you can see, I came all the way down to 270 because I was hardly eating anything. I was recovering from a jaw surgery. They had replaced, or actually cut out, my upper jaw up here. They sliced it right here to widen it and bring it forward so that my bite, I can have a normal bite now, where I used to have a very severe underbite. What it also did was uncrowd my sinuses. So my sinuses up here were crowded before, and when they moved my jaw, it opened up a lot more room for my sinuses. And then after that, I even had another surgery on my nose because I had a broken nose. I had a deviated septum and a broken, whatever you call that bone. And they had to correct both of them. Both my nostrils now are even, and I can breathe out of both of them very well. Between the two surgeries, I have gotten really good about being able to breathe what I feel very efficiently through my nose. And that's helped not only just for like exercising and doing things that typical, I think most people probably take for granted, but because I wasn't able to breathe that well through my sinuses and through my nose, I was always having kind of issues with it. But now it has gotten so much better, and I'm happy with it. I'll just put it to you that way. And it has worked out really good. So if you need one of those surgeries, I suggest it. The jaw surgery was the worst to get over. I gotta tell you, being on a liquid diet for 6 weeks, tough. I cheated a little bit, don't get me wrong. I definitely put some chili in the blender, my meat chili that I make with the peppers. I've also tried to put some other stuff in that I could eat it and not have to chew on it and still be able to take it down. Although even though I did exercise my jaw, acting like I was chewing, I did not clamp down or bite down on anything. So I cheated a little bit, but wasn't too bad. I definitely ate some cheese and stuff like that too, because it was very soft. Anything really soft like that. I did try some low carb ice cream too, but that wasn't good for me. Anyway, so as you can see, as my numbers here, 270, I bottomed out. And then as I started recovering, I got back up to 295, which is close to where I was. And it didn't take long to do that, as you can see, from the 5th to the 9th, and then 16th, and then the 18th, and then the 26th. I didn't weigh in a while, and I had been out of town. I was traveling a lot, and pretty much I got to the point where I was eating back junk because I wasn't on a diet. Anyway, so after I started the carnivore diet, as you can see here, my highest, as you can see, since then was the 26. I know I was probably a couple pounds higher than that once that I weighed, and I didn't end up recording it because I wasn't on this particular scale that I have at my home that will sync with my phone and record the numbers. But as you can see here, the numbers are 295 back down to 287. And then here recently 281. And I weighed tonight after going to the gym, and I am at 8 now. So I'm definitely going down still. And this is the 4th. Yeah. So still a couple more pounds down below with that last weigh-in with that scale. Of course, weight fluctuates. I've had a lot of water today. I have been drinking predominantly water again. And I hadn't had any coffee, but definitely several bottles of water. But let's get on to the next one, and let's go into a little more detail about my weight so that you can kind of see the numbers here. You see the percentage of body water, percentage of body fat, the lean mass, and the muscle mass there, and the bone mass. Because these numbers are estimated per the scale, but I think they give some validity on what your diet is doing on whether you're eating your muscle or you eating the fat. So as we know, I want to eat the fat. I do not want to eat the muscle. I have been doing some workouts in the gym, and it has been coming along pretty well. But as you can see here, there's my numbers again coming down. But my muscle mass, as you can tell, I've been working in the gym. My muscle mass is coming up. Oops, that's the wrong one. The 295. That was at my heaviest again. And then let me give you 2 more shots. 162.9 on my muscle mass at 287 since I've been on this diet. And 160 pounds of muscle, 172.5 pounds of lean mass on this one, and that was the 31st. So it kind of gives you an idea that my muscle mass is not going anywhere. I'm not losing really the muscle mass. But if you look at my body water is staying pretty consistent. As you can see, let me move that back out of the way and move this one in. 44% there. And then 43.1% there. So my body water is staying very consistent. As you can see, I'm losing a little bit of weight there. Now this one shows 160 pounds versus 163 in the original one. But my body water is staying consistent, and my lean mass is staying very consistent. So, I mean, I'm not too alarmed at that yet. Again, I don't think I'm losing any muscle at all. It's not showing up in the gym whatsoever. And I am using my little pee strips. I'm using the pee strips that basically give me an idea of where I'm at. I'll bring that up here so that you can see that. As you can see, I'm in kind of a moderate ketones that I'm putting out because I am in fat burning mode. So I'm not too disappointed in that at all. So again, 278 is what I weighed in at this afternoon after the gym here on the 4th. So that's my latest update. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, and I want to continue on. I'm not in a month yet, but as you can see, it is definitely working. And when I'm at the gym, I can definitely tell I am keeping my strength very well. And I'm not feeling weak at all. And especially using, again, my LMNT. This stuff is pretty good, especially with hydration. And I think that's definitely helping me out a lot. So I highly recommend it. I've been taking it for a while now. That's the only supplement I take. I have not been taking any other supplement. My blood pressure is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. I have not kept up with my blood pressure. I don't have my blood pressure monitor with me like I normally do. I need to put that back in my bag because when I'm traveling, it's usually the only time I think about it. When I'm at home, I don't think about it very much, but on occasion I do. But last I checked, it wasn't too bad, and I'm not too worried about it. I've been taking my blood pressure medicine and reduced just because I know when I have been fasting when I had been fasting, I could tell my blood pressure was down quite a bit. And then I was taking some of the element, and it was helping that out as well to make sure it doesn't bottom out. Because typically you fast about 3 or 4 days, and then you get in the gym and you're working pretty decently, and you go from like a laying down position or a sitting position and stand up, you get a little lightheaded. That's a loss of blood pressure. This element has reduced and if not almost eliminated all of that while I was fasting. And I highly recommend it for fasting as well as just being on the carnivore diet, period. To keep that water retention up where you need it, and don't drain the water, because as you know, you can lose a lot of weight fast by draining water, but it's just going to come right back, and you don't want to do that anyway, because all it does is dehydrate you. But that's my update, and I've got probably another week and a half on the road before I've got a trip planned to Alaska. Planning on heading up to Alaska the 15th through the 18th. Going to do some seaplane flying up there. Can't wait. Alaska is such a beautiful state. The only place I've really spent time in is in Juneau, but I'm flying into Anchorage and meeting a friend up there that works for one of our competing airlines. He's got a 185 on straight floats up there, so I'm interested in getting to fly his airplane around up in Alaska up there with him and go see some of the beauty all around Alaska up there. So I'm hoping for good weather for those few days. But outside of that, I'll get back to you here in probably another week or so with another update. And appreciate you guys for tuning in. Take care.